Good morning, Dr. Bose.
Good morning.
Welcome to day 3 of Wellness Week, Marin. Good morning, participants. We're so happy to have you here today. Thank you for joining Wellness Week, Marin, where today we're going to be connecting on spirituality and our emotional dimensions of wellness. So this webinar is being recorded and will be available on our website later this afternoon. The webinar is also being simultaneously presented in English with simultaneous Spanish translation. Thank you so much to Marta Biton, who is our interpreter today. Hola y bienvenido al Semana del Bienestar al Marin. Este webinar se está grabando y presentando en inglés y se traduce simultáneamente al español. Muchas gracias a Marta Biton, que es nuestra intérprete esta tarde. So again, for all of the Wellness Week event, you may track your wellness in exercises and activities that you are doing this week. And it can be joining a session like today's Mindful Moment with Dr. Bose, or it can be taking a walk, cooking dinner with a family member, writing a note to yourself, journaling, writing a note to a friend. There's a lot of different activities that we can all be doing to be well and take on this great work. So I will place that information into the chat. There's also on Friday, we'll be having a celebration at 3 o'clock where we will be announcing any winners of various prizes that we have, and those will be announced again on Friday at 3 o'clock. I will place the Google form. You'll want to make sure to complete that before 1 o'clock on Friday. And again, this is all about wellness and bringing wellness into our lives on a daily basis. I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Kaiser Permanente, for providing this opportunity for us to be together, and then to our partners over at the Marin County Health and Human Services Department. So today we are number 7 of 15 total sessions offered during Wellness Week Marin. We have Dr. Bidyut Bose here. He is the founder and executive director of the Niroga Institute. And today he's going to guide us through a mindful moment that brings out the spirituality and the emotional wellness dimension. So welcome, Dr. Bose. Take it away.
Thank you, Michelle. Welcome, everyone. It's a delight to be joining you this morning. And so as we begin, why don't we take a moment to connect with our own breathing, coming up, sitting tall, yet relaxed, ears and shoulders and hips gently lining up one above the other. And let us bring our attention to our own breathing, chest and abdomen relaxed, eyes and mouth, lips, jaws and tongue softened, neck and shoulders relaxed. Breathing naturally, not trying to change it in any way, feeling each bit of each breath just as it's unfolding moment by moment. The air flowing in through your nostrils, perhaps your chest, your abdomen expanding. And as the air flows back out through your nostrils, chest and abdomen floating back towards your spine. And as you continue to feel each breath moment by moment, feel free to add a couple more layers to it if you like. A bit of rhythm, slowing down your exhale perhaps. Twice as slow, breathing in to a count of 3 or 4, and breathing out twice as slowly to 6 or 8 at your own pace. Possibly even adding a bit of abdominal movement, where as you breathe in, your belly comes forward and out in a big, giant balloon belly breath. And as you breathe out twice as slowly to 6 or 8, actively, gently pulling your abdomen in towards your spine for deep and rhythmic belly breathing. Continuing to feel each breath, to watch each breath closely, its pace, its texture, its flow, its depth, and perhaps watching each thought, each movement of our minds, breath by breath and moment by moment. And now one more layer of mindfulness, one strike of this chime, listening with our fullest possible attention for the very last trace of sound. Thank you all. And so I have a very short PowerPoint deck that I'll just pull up right now. And here is the title slide. So we're discussing spiritual wellness and then emotional wellness, and the lens of dynamic mindfulness, how these ancient practices that have been around in every culture throughout history, how they can enable spiritual and emotional wellness. And as we begin, let's take a moment to be clear about what we mean when we say mindful. What is the mind full of? Our minds, as we know, are quite slippery, constantly shuttling off to past and future, past and future, past and future, hundreds of times a day. The essence of mindfulness practice is simply filling our minds with the present. The more present we are, the more mindful we are, because our minds are more full of the present rather than past or future. Especially critical, perhaps, given our crazy busy lives and all our pride in multitasking, where our bodies are one place, our minds are somewhere else. And so with that, let's turn to spiritual wellness. As I typed in, how do you develop spiritual wellness into some of the largest search engines in the world? This is what came up very quickly. Millions and millions of answers in less than a second. And what are they saying? Some of the things that came up for you to look at. Volunteer, help others, spend time in nature, focus on your hobbies, connect with your faith community, and so on. What do you think is missing when we think about the spirit? There are certain universal questions of the human spirit. And what are those? 3 simple questions. Who am I? Who are you? And what is our connection? And so spiritual wellness has so much to do with our self-identity. How do we develop self-identity, self-awareness? Through a mindful moment. That is what we're going to experience next. So if you're comfortable, let's come up standing. I'll push my chair out of the way and then tilt the screen a little bit so you can see me more fully. And so here is the idea. We call this movement Rise and Shine, perhaps really appropriate this time of day. And so the idea is to bring your arms forward and out as you breathe in. And then as you're gently bending at the knees, bringing your arms back across your chest in a big, gentle bear hug. Breathing in, arms opening up, and breathing out, and coming back to your own self, your heart center perhaps. Back and forth just a few times. And as you're doing this deceptively simple movement, perhaps coming into that hug, little gesture of self-care and self-love and self-compassion. Who am I really? And then as I get clarity on that answer, coming out with our arms, spreading that identity around. I am body, I'm mind, I'm emotions, I'm intellect, of course. But I know that I'm something more. And once I tune into that reality that is within me is also within everyone and everything around me. The very essence of spiritual wellness. Gradually coming back to neutral and perhaps coming back to sitting. The next dimension that we're exploring today is emotional wellness. And so I did the same thing. A quick search around the internet, a worldwide net, 60 million instant pieces of advice. What are they saying? Express your feelings in appropriate ways. Be aware of your emotions. Be aware of your reactions. Strive for balance. Think before you act. These are all good insights. And yet, as you stop for a moment, what is missing? What is the essence of emotional wellness? We all know that our emotions are swinging up and down, the opposites of joy and sorrow, stressed and relaxed, anxious and calm, distracted and focused, these swings. The essence of emotion regulation is expanding our window of tolerance so that for the most part, we can stay within it and we don't get overwhelmed. And yet every so often, we go across our window of tolerance and then we get overwhelmed. As you widen your window of tolerance, the essence of emotional wellness, you find three things happen. You are less likely to get overwhelmed, so you're overwhelmed less often. When you are overwhelmed, it's less intense. And third, you bounce back a little faster. Each one of these is a significant victory. And so let's experience that with a mindful moment. So let's come up standing once more. You can do this sitting if you'd like as well, in a little variation. But here's an idea where you're just going into a gentle twist of your entire spine fairly quickly. Just a quick exhale at each end of your spinal twist. Your arms could be by your side, they could be resting at your hips, they could be swinging out, adding as much speed and power and momentum as you like. Leading with your hips, following through with your shoulders and head and neck, turning to track your twist. A quick puff of air out at each end, and then slowly coming back to center and gradually coming back sitting. You may have noticed that there was a difference in the way we did our breathing through these two movements. In the first one, I nudged you to breathe nice and slow. You can try that, even slowing down your exhale more than your inhale, just like we did or suggested at the very starting mindful moment. The next one was much quicker, breathing out. So we were playing with the ratio of inhale to exhale that allows us to regulate our emotions by regulating our breath. And so here is a little tool that I'll close with that you can check out inside of the Niroga store, a simple color-coded poster that basically gives you some mindful moments of practice to be able to shift your mood, to regulate your emotions depending on how you want to feel, from stressed to relaxed, from tired or sad to energized, from nervous to strengthened, self-confident, releasing excess energy when we are feeling angry or anxious, how to get a little bit more focused when distracted, and so on. And so this is available as a poster. It's available as a short library of videos that are just 2 minutes each. And so just like brushing our teeth, how to practice a little bit regularly throughout our day is needed, so our brains have a chance to rewire and change our behavior. With that, I'll stop for now and see if you have any closing thoughts or comments in the chat window.
I believe you're still sharing your screen if you did not want to share your screen.
You're talking to me, Michelle?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine
yeah.
if they are.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If you can still put up looking at me.
Always.
Okay, I think silence is golden. Over to you, Michelle.
I heard
we have a few things piping up. Okay. So I'll have the poster. Going to get one. Have a copy of this. You mean the presentation? I think the video will actually capture these little slides that I had, Lydia. And so indeed, all of you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy the presentations coming up around noon, as well as later in the afternoon and over the next couple of days as well.
Thank you. We still have we have tomorrow, and we have two more with you on Friday. So excited for that. And then this afternoon, we have DB Bedford, who is going to speak to the title of it. I love it, is The Three Secrets to Emotional Wellness That's Hidden in Plain Sight. So we'll start that right away at 12 noon today. Again, thank you all for being here today. And thank you, Dr. Bose, for your insight and your expertise. It's amazing how the physiological chemistry in our bodies and the way we regulate our breathing and our movement can impact how we feel. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
remarkable how amazing our bodies are. Thank you
Indeed.
so much, everyone.
Yes. Take good care, everyone.
Stay
Bye.
well.
Be well.